much for just being with us and accommodating to the new location here. So before we do anything, I definitely want to give a round of applause for the amazing piece that we have here, Pieces My Life by Regina Jones. And the amazing team behind it. We have our amazing talent here, Regina Jones. And just being able to just do this piece, I feel is like a foreshadowing in a way, because the position that I do now, I'm actually a post-production, story, and archival producer. So everything that you do that you had started, we have now continued on to do that in the future of documentaries.
Soraya and my co-director, Billy Miassi, who is not here with us today. Children back-to-back festivals can be really difficult, but we're really happy to be here at the Micheaux Film Festival, and really grateful to Courtney and Noel for starting this great festival and featuring such a great lineup of films, of which we are glad to be part of. So the origin of this project, Billy was actually looking to make a short film, and he was researching, finding 3 journalists in these 3 pivotal moments of rebellions, uprising in Los Angeles. So the Watts Rebellion, the Rodney King, and then the recent BLM. And when he spoke with Regina, he realized her story was like way more interesting, and she was a way more fascinating character than any journalist he could find. I came on board in the project because the production company is in Chicago. Nancy's here all the way from Portugal. Billy's in Cincinnati, and I was the person here in Los Angeles that came on to do some filming with them because I'm a director and a cinematographer. I fell in love with Regina, I fell in love with the story. Billy and I really got along, and it just felt natural for us to work as a team, as co-directors. And so that's the origin of the project and how I came on board.
That's beautiful. And Regina, when they came up to you and was like, we want to tell your story, what was the first thing that came to mind?
I didn't even think about that. When I was approached about doing a story on the Watts riots, I was happy to be a part of that, because that was one segment that I remembered and still have a lot of attitude about how things have not progressed. And I offered to get other people involved that were involved in. As we started to move along and it shifted to being a story about me, Billy was a real nice guy, and he was easy to work with, and it was comfortable. And Alyssa was the producer. She was a sweetheart. I met her at a screening of one of their films they'd done, and I said, okay. I had no clue. And then when I met this one and her children, it was family. And it'll be family long after this.
That's beautiful, that's beautiful. And so for you, in the process of documentaries, because I know from my background being an archival producer, I see the footage coming in post-production. So being able to really see, I don't get to be a part of the process making the actual product in the end. And so for you, like for the team, how do you feel like the process of making a documentary for such a talent like this that has so many different stories to tell?
All the story points, Watts, all of that, we really dug through her material.
I think Regina's life is so fascinating, and interweaving the stories about what was happening during the time and what was happening in Regina's family, and all of the beautiful home movies that her family took, made it just a treasure trove and a pleasure to work through. And I know it's challenging. It's always challenging trying to make these movies work, but it was beautiful because we had the things that Regina has written over the course of time. We had the history of time. You know, there were people who wanted the film to be more about soul. There were people who wanted the film to be more about other things, and we really tried to interweave the soul part of the film into the life and times of, you know, who in the hell is Regina Jones, and I'm hoping that we succeeded. I mean, I think it's, I don't know, I edit a lot of movies, and I think it's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and I think it's beautiful because of family. It's really about family.
How do you feel about that? I think that it really does in the whole piece. Family is a huge thing for you. So talk about it, and especially some of the, like, I feel like we were right there in the roller coaster with you, like the highs and lows that you went through. I felt the emotion, like the intercuts of every time that you went to write. I felt the emotion you going in and tell us about that.
First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and for coming out to see the film, and even those that have left already, thank you very much. Those that have had the pleasure and displeasure of working with me knows that I don't necessarily follow orders or the rules. Even when I try, it's hard. I love the film. I'm honored. I'm pleased. I'm grateful. I think you guys did a sensational job. You got into a lot of the complexities of me that I had no clue that you could see through and feel. Your editing was phenomenal. But this one here, and I've never seen her dressed up. She was a camera woman. So when I saw a picture of her at the festival the other night, all glammed up, and I'm looking at her nails now and her toes, I don't even know who this lady is. She's working through carrying big, heavy cameras around like it's handling it much better than she can handle the speaker. I have to thank Alyssa for believing in it and backing it when I know this is a difficult time to get anything done. Thank you for believing and kept on believing when they even added more stuff to it after I know it was pretty much finished. I think you captured everything that you were supposed to capture.
I think so too.
I'm not sure yet if I'm going to attempt to finish my memoir or I'm going to consider this memoir a closed deal.
Is this an exclusive that we're
Part 2. Volume 1.
And the writing, from who I'm in writing group with, who has been handling that for, 5 years now, 6? She knows my writing and how painful it is and how exposed I am. What happens is I can talk, but when I write much better than I talk. And I have no control over what I sit down to write and what comes out of my fingers. It literally bypasses my brain and goes right into some spot inside of me and it writes. And it's a very painful process because the things that I have buried all my life pop up and come up and fall out on that damn, it's no longer a tablet, it's a computer. I'm happy with my hands on a keyboard. And this whole experience, though, has been horrendous for me for the past 3 weeks preparing for this, because I had to find out, it's not just the title of the film, who in the hell is Regina Jones? I didn't know that I was going to have to go to a class for myself, with myself, to find out who in the hell is Regina Jones. And Regina Jones loves being a puppeteer. I like to be behind the scenes, pulling the strings and telling somebody else what they're supposed to do.
I think that's just women in general. I think we always are orchestrated to just lead and be cool in the background, but I think your story is just so powerful that it cannot be in the background. It is so, needs to be in the forefront. I even see this on bigger screens. And like you had said, the industry has been hard. It's been really difficult. I know for myself, being in the industry for the last 9 years has been a really tough one this year. So for you, I want to kind of go a little bit into the archival, because I'm an archival junkie myself. The fact that you have so much stuff in archival, from films to pictures to everything, and even now understanding the bigger picture of the evolution of a lot of our archive being taken away with AI and things that being merges and people getting rid of just it together. Why do you feel that archival preservation is such an importance as you started to look back at some of your old stuff that you had to bring?
And like your respect for the archivist, he's got it.
Yeah.
He's got it.
And I understand too, because I think, you know, I just went to a convention myself where there's a lot of people who own archival footage and stuff. And I will say this right now, whatever footage you have, please reserve it for any generation. Please give it to your next generation. I have my grandfather's old memorabilia. He collected a lot of old stuff that we cherish that. The next generation, we do care.
That's why I love Regina, because she speaks her mind and she will always have the difficult conversations. We all very much were adamant that this is a film about Regina. It's a film about elders who have stories to tell that we need to listen to learn our history, and about recognizing all the invisible layer of labor of women of color. And that was always what we wanted the film to be. The market out there says that all y'all are interested in is sports, celebrity, and music, and that's what we get pressured to make. But we know that you want something else, right? And so I think that's sort of where a lot of this comes from, is that there's other aspirations for soul, and I want Regina to have all the glory of that record of music history and achievements. It's not what our film is, but there is this series here.
I agree, yeah, especially with us in the archival space, this is the stuff that we need, you know? Even with AI and technology, it'll always evolve, but to tell the story, we want to know what happened in the past, and you can't have new technology tell what happened in the past. So, and especially for me, I love the newspapers. I still collect newspapers till this day, okay? And even then, like, I love just having that tangible remembrance of remembering who I am, not only as a person, as a Black woman, but a person that is giving that story to somebody else. So probably the best moment that you liked.
I go numb.
Really? Tell me
I
about
go numb. I just go, I've seen it twice on my computer, and it's all I can remember is seeing this woman aging, walking to the lemon tree and back. And I go, I know that's me intellectually, but emotionally, it's like I can't connect with her.
Yeah.
So the rest of the film is like watching it for the first time today and seeing it all over again. That's how quick my self-preservation, or whatever my tool of survival has been all these years to keep going, that you know, I just kept smiling and thinking, oh guys, thank you. Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh shit, I cried in front of, there's a tear. I mean, she got all up in my face and got that out of me. But to me, that is the talent of a director who was interviewing me, who knew how to ask the questions and make me feel safe enough that I didn't care. I was just talking to her without the camera on. And that is a technique that a lot of people would never get out of most people.
So do you feel that, you know, everything that you went through, that you feel like you're a champion?
No.
Really? Wow.
That's all right.
And it's okay to feel that too.
She's our champion.
I'm now learning how to love myself. The discovery that I said I've made over the last few weeks is that I need to be needed, which means in a way I'm an enabler and I take care of other people. And what I'm trying to do now is learn how to take care of myself, because that's my goal for whatever time I have left.
I love that. I love that.
When I think of collaboration, which is the big reason why I'm a filmmaker, is that I love the process of collaboration. I love working with people and having those kinds of difficult discussions about, like, what is this moment about? And it leads to greater understanding with the filmmakers. But I want to extend that collaboration was primarily with Regina and what she shared with us, and how we processed her story and what's the various facets of her story. I asked Regina one day, and often I would come there even if I didn't have a camera, just to chat, and was recording sound. That's how we came up with the title of the film comes from Regina. So we had a title one day, and she asked, well, what's the title? And I told her what the title was. She said, I don't know about that. She's like, I mean, like, I think it was like something, the Regina Jones story or an original soul. And she was really uncomfortable with that. And she said, well, I don't know. I mean, who in the hell is Regina Jones anyway? It's in the film. The same day I asked her, why are you participating in this film? Why do you want to do this? And her answer was to help other women see themselves.
So many definitions of what people think a champion is, and these days we really associate it so much more with celebrity or sports, and there's so much focus on that type of champion. And I think, you know, what we're showing is a champion of community, a champion of family, a champion of a voice that isn't heard enough. And I hope that we did justice to it. I think we did, and I hope we did. And I really feel like, you know, Regina's words, Regina's devotion to community, to family, and then her writing about it, and her ability to sort of write through the pain, to then champion for other young women who might face the same challenges, and then as we age, to be a champion of the stories, like you were saying. We need those stories, and we need that history, and all of it needs people who are going to champion those things, because otherwise they're just going to be hidden in a garage somewhere where somebody doesn't think there's any value to them.
Actually are out of time, so we'll give you some questions now, but I want to definitely give a shout out and thank you so much, talent team, for this amazing piece you were able to touch here. And who the hell is your piece? So I think I was able to know you a little bit more. And for the next generation like me, just know we're listening. I'm here, okay? I'm right here trying to march these archivists in this preserve.
And I'm just discovering that as I see now.
Thank you all for coming.